I received a little hobby kit from IC Station. This is a practice kit for SMD. Introduced people to building components or building kits using surface mounted. It's a little 3-watt amplifier with speakers. Let's check it out. You folks over at IC Station have sent me another little kit to build and demonstrate. This one's a little stereo amplifier board. Comes with 2 little speakers but no cabinet. So these would be perfect for someone who's wanting to build their own cabinet. Now this is only going to be about 3 watts per channel, so a little single IC, tiny little circuit board, surface mounted components. Shouldn't take more than a few minutes to build this. Let's get started. As you can see, there's a total of 6 ceramic capacitors, 1 electrolytic, 2 resistors, a volume control, and of course, the heart of it, a surface mounted stereo IC amplifier. I think this is going to be pretty straightforward. We don't even need to look at the manual that I didn't print. I've got it on my tablet here, but we really don't need to look at that because I think this one is pretty self-explanatory as to where the components go. There are 3-hole components. The chip mounts on one side of the board and the components mount on the other. And everything is clearly marked on the board. It'll have the numbers of the components. So for example, C1 and C2 are 105, and you'll just find the ceramic capacitor that has the number 105 mounted on it, and mount those down. First thing we're going to mount, of course, is going to be the integrated circuit on the other side of the board, because that would be difficult to mount when you've got a bunch of components and the board is not level. So the first thing is we're going to prep the board to mount the surface mounted component. As I say, this shouldn't take me more than about 5 or 10 minutes to put this together. Very, very quick. I've got a couple of these little kits. What they do is IC Station send me some little hobby kits to show how they're put together, so that hobbyists wanting to get their hands wet in electronics, and they want to start out with something simple, they can see how something simple like this is going to go together. So they send me these and I put them together to show you guys them. So let's get started on this one. First we're going to mount the IC. First things first, I'm going to put some liquid flux onto the board. I'm only going to do this on the IC itself. I don't need this for the through-hole components, but liquid flux is always good when you're dealing with surface-mounted parts. It just makes the transfer of solder much easier. So I'll put some liquid flux onto the board first, and then we'll set the first component in place. Now pin 1 is identified by a dot that's on the corner of the chip here, and it goes to the indentation on the markings. So we'll just drop the chip in place and center it over the pads. Now there's 2 ways to do this. This could be done with a hot air station as well. I'm not using a hot air station, not for something like this. I'll just use a regular iron. And we'll tack down the pins on the corner first, just to hold the chip in place. So there's the first one. Check our alignment, make sure that our alignment is good. And then the other pin on the other side, we can solder the rest of the pins in place. Just like that. And there, that's all there is to it. The IC is now mounted. As you can see, it only took a few seconds to do that. No problems whatsoever, very easy to do. Once you've practiced a few of them, you get pretty good at putting on surface mounted components. Now we can start with the regular parts. So we have 2 resistors. They're both 174s. What are they here? what do they say out here? It says 174. Oh, that's not. Sorry, I was looking at the capacitor. 10K. So that's brown, black, orange. So here's our two 10K resistors. I was looking at the capacitors there when I called out 174. There's one 10K resistor there. The other one 10K resistor on this side. Pull them down flush. Bend the pins over a bit. Bend the leads over so that they're held in place. And solder them down. Oh no, here comes the electrician's snips, or scissors as some people are going to call them. Get over it, okay? For all you people out there that are whining about me using snips, get over it. I happen to like using the scissors because it cuts the wire off nice and flush to the board. Okay, next we've got some capacitors to mount. We're looking for capacitors with 474. There's a 474 there. That one's a 105. One looks like a 105 as well. Get my cheaters on here. That's a 105. Should be another 474 here. There's a 474. So here's the two 474s, and they go right here. These ones are not polarity sensitive. And then the rest of them, I believe they're all 104. There's two 104s and there's two 105s. So let's just put all the caps in place. That one's a 105. This one here is a 105. The hole on the board there is not open, so we'll just take care of that in a minute. 104. And this one here is a 105. And then the last one's also a 105, but I have to kind of clear the board up. I got a bit of a bridge on here that I got to clear up first. So we'll take care of these other ones first. We'll just bend these ones in place, solder them down. Just one little right here. There we go. The last capacitor. Yes, I blew the solder through the board. Okay, that's got the ceramics mounted. Clip off the excess leads. We have one electrolytic capacitor to mount. It's 470 microfarads and it lies flat on the board. So we're going to put it through. This is polarity sensitive, so we have to make sure that the negative and positive terminals are correct. This one's going to lie down on the board like that. And there's the volume control. It goes in just like that. And that's it. The amplifier is complete. Now I just have to hook up the wires for power and for the audio input. We need to determine which is the ground. It should be the white wire, I would think. But we'll double check it with the meter. Or is it this one? Ah, that one's the ground. Ground, and the left channel is that one, and the right channel is that one. Right channel. Right channel, or left channel, sorry, and right channel, and the ground is the blue one. Okay, that's got that one. There's a positive and negative that goes to the USB cord. The positive and negative terminal is over here. And again, it's marked positive and negative. So we'll just drop the wires, or bring the wires up from the bottom of the board. There's the power lead connected, and now we just need to connect up two wires for the speakers. One wire, the other one over here, same thing. It's probably a pretty good idea to take away all your clippings before bringing the speakers around, because they will stick to the speaker magnets. Now, obviously these speakers need to be mounted into something other than just standing free, but you can hear the speakers have pretty good travel. If these were actually mounted in a cabinet, they're going to sound a lot better than they do just sitting here in the open. But there it is. This is just a quick demonstration to demonstrate how easy it is to build this little amplifier. Let's see if we can make these speakers jump around on the bench, eh? Okay, we get the idea. It works. Link to this little kit, inexpensive little practice kit, which has got some real practical purposes. You can make your own little mini boombox and mount it in a nice little wooden cabinet. These probably aren't going to sound too bad, but there it is. It's not Bluetooth, it's direct connection to your 3.5 millimeter plug. There it is. Hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching. I've got two more kits. They sent me 3 of them, so this is the first of 3 that you'll be seeing real quick. I'll probably do another one tomorrow. I got another speaker one, but it actually came with an enclosure, and I got I think it's a spectrum analyzer, but there's 3 of them coming up. So you'll see the other ones real soon. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one pretty quick. Bye for now.